Hey guys, it's Jessa. I hope you've had a good day. I've got my quad espresso here with 8 pumps of pumpkin syrup and half a half, so your girl's good to go. Just make sure though, guys, no matter what you order, what you're drinking, pray the blood of Jesus over everything. Everything before you take your first sip of coffee, before you take your first bite of your food, everything that you buy from the stores, everything in your home, saturated always by the blood of Jesus Christ, okay? Just a little side note. But today I thought we would talk about just basic spirits and angels that are around us 24 hours, 7 days a week. Like, I'm not talking about the ones that, I played with the Ouija board, so now these spirits are coming at me, or, I got this witch over here who's sending some stuff at me. Now I got this stuff coming at me. No, I'm talking about the ones that just 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no matter what, no matter who you are, they're around you. First of all, there are far more angels and demons and spirits in this world than there are people. Just so you know, everywhere that you look, you got angels up here, you got demons here, you got spiders, snakes. You got stuff you can't even see that's going on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, if you could see into the spirit, if you start spending some time into the spirit, you'll see all the stuff going on. So let's get into just like the basics, right? So the devil has monitoring spirits. He's either going to be a monitoring spirit or a monitoring serpent from the marine kingdom, right? But either way, they're coming from the devil. So this thing, and sometimes it could be both, but every single person has a monitoring spirit from the devil and a monitoring angel from God. But right now, let's just talk about the monitoring spirit from the devil. Now, the monitoring spirit can only record what you say and what you do. They can't read your mind. I know sometimes the devil will be like, in people's heads, and the people will be like, oh, I can read your mind. No, you ain't, brah. No, you ain't. It's the familiar spirits telling you the little notes that have been taken. And that's what it is. And I'm telling you, they're taking notes. They've taken notes on everything you've ever done. Since the moment you popped out of the womb, they were taking notes. They were taking notes. Every sin, all of your weaknesses, what scares you. Oh, they know everything. They don't know what you think, but they probably know more about you than you even know about you. I'm telling you, it's kind of like, like if you go to a doctor's office, like before the doctor goes into the office, there's like a chart outside the door. The devil, before he comes to figure out, I better do something about this person, or how am I going to attack this person? He'll go grab that little information chart. It's written in his book. They got it in satanic databases. They got it, in all these little files that these monitoring spirits are recording. And he'll be like, oh, look at little Cindy. Oh, I see that she's afraid of spiders, so we can use that. Oh, I see, that she did this sin back here and still feels guilty about it. We can use that. The amount of information that these things are recording about you 24 hours, 7 days a week would have your head spinning. Everything. They're writing it all down, who you talk to, who you know. Because they're like, oh, this person, that this person's talking to, we're actually controlling this person. And we already got these spirits that are up in this person. So now we're going to have these spirits work in tandem to set up this plan against this person. So be careful what you say and what you do. I'm telling you, sometimes even when I have strategies and I'm like talking to God, sometimes I will just talk to him in my mind because I ain't even going to say it out loud. Yeah, because I know in my mind, that God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit are the only ones hearing that, and his recording angel. But they're the only ones that can hear that. So sometimes, just keep some of your strategies up here until you're about to use them here in the actual prayer and in the warfare, but just take note that you're always being watched. These things are always writing everything you say and everything you do down, and they're bringing that information back to the devil. That's why even when you start waking up, they're like, oh no, little Cindy, she's getting too much information. So, we better come up with a better strategy, and we better work with, familiar spirits around her and familiar spirits around these other people, and get this party started. That's how they're doing it, because they know what you think. They know what, and not what you're thinking. They know what you think because you say it. So if you don't like someone, you're like, oh, this person, blah, 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 blah. For one thing, the slander is a sin, so you're working against yourself there, but they're taking note. They know how they can play you later. They want to see where your weaknesses are, where your loopholes, where they can get in, So 24 hours, 7 days a week, you are being watched by at least a monitoring spirit or a monitoring serpent. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to allow them access there. Again, you have dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowls of the air, and over all of the earth. So you can take authority over monitoring demons and monitoring serpents. If it's a monitoring spirit, you can bind that thing, strip away its memory, strip away its power, and make sure, you could take away the ability for the thing to hear and see, and if it's a monitoring serpent, you want to cut off the head and the tail, so it's not like you have to allow them to be there and listen to you, but they're gonna be there. They're there. Even if you cast them out, he'll just send a different one back in, and you can cast them out and they'll be gone for an hour, 2 hours, but then he's sending another one back in. So that's how they are working. That's how they use ourselves against ourselves. That's how they use the world against us, is because they got information. They know it all. They know every relationship you've been in, every sin you've done. They got it right here, right? Using it against you. So on the other side, you got the monitoring angels. Now, the monitoring angel is always going to be there no matter what. You can't cast that out. You know what I mean? That's there because it's on assignment from God, and you ain't going against that. And why would you want to anyways? But the monitoring angel is writing down everything you say, do, and think. Okay, so that's why you got to be careful sometimes, because you can't be like, well, nobody's hearing my wicked thoughts that I have to myself. Oh, yes. First of all, God's hearing them. Jesus is hearing them. Holy Spirit's like, really? I'm hearing you. The recording angel's hearing you, and the recording angel's recording it. No, this person thinks all these nasty, wicked thoughts. It's being recorded. Okay, and even though God's not going to take those and use it against you the same way the devil would do it, you still got to be held accountable, especially if the sin ain't repented of. So, you got recordings all the time, and 24 hours, 7 days a week. This is happening all day. They're there all day. You wake up, they're already looking at you. Okay. You got a monitoring spirit, a recording angel. You wake up, their eyes are already on you. Oh, she's awake. This is the time she woke up at. What her first words were, whatever. It just starts recording, like those recorders in the courthouses that are like, that's what they're doing. Recording. The only difference between the two of them, really, as far as what makes them different and what they're doing, is that God's recording angel can actually hear your thoughts. So all your thoughts are being recorded as well. You know what I mean? So if you're doing some nasty whatever, you're like, oh, no, what? Trust me. You got eyeballs on you all the time, watching you. And they're going to use it against you. These monitoring spirits, that's what they're there for. They're there to collect information about you. They want to know what you're about so they can form the strategy. That's why we have to figure out what the devil's about so that you form the strategy against him. Know thy enemy, right? So that's what he's doing. He could tell you things about yourself you probably forgot even happened. But the devil's got a record book, and so does God. Okay, so 24 hours, 7 days a week. You got monitoring spirits, monitoring serpents, and recording angels. And even when you pop them out, or you might blind them, or, whatever, there still will be another one coming back. It's not like, oh, well, I shot all these fairy darts into it and that's that for that. No, the devil will just send somebody back better, smarter. The devil doesn't, even when he might back off for a little bit, he's only backing off because he's trying to figure out a new strategy how to get you, how to mess you up. He's like, okay, this ain't working. Time out. Let's reorganize, right? So it's about collecting information, especially from this side, and God's collecting it too, because people are like, oh, how did this person get away with this? And they get away with it. Nobody's getting away with nothing, not even your evil thoughts. You're like, well, I don't ever say anything evil, but I think it. Well, those evil thoughts are being recorded, and at some point you are going to have to give a testimony for those things. So just, the weirdest part is you don't really got any privacy. No, you do not. You do not have privacy in this world that we're living in. You got eyes on you all the time, taking notes, what you say, what you do, what you're thinking all the time. So use that to your advantage to know that, because you're like, okay, they know every time I'm sinning, so I shouldn't be doing those sins because they're taking notes, right? I got to watch out what I say because the enemy is doing this, right? And you're like, man, maybe I should try to not think all these crazy things and try to, figure out what it is you're in, So you got these things recording you all the time. Next, you got familiar spirits, okay? Familiar spirits are the ones that are coming through your ancestry. They'll be like, oh, I've been with your family, for 4 generations. I mean, they've been up there, messing with grandma and great grandma up there. These are the familiar spirits are the ones that trickle down generation to generation until somebody wakes up, and takes a hold of those sins and those contracts and covenants and handles that. But you got familiar spirits. So it's like with the psychics and the mediums, right? These little witches, and they don't even know it, half of them. Half of them, I'm sure, know that they're working for the devil, but half of them are like, oh no, these are my spirit guides, and this spirit guide helps me through the knowledge. And I ask him questions, and anything I ask him, he tells me, so yay. No, they're familiar spirits. The reason they know about, little Timmy is because they've been with the family for generations. Oh, they could tell you your whole life story, your whole generational pool. They could tell you it because they've been collecting information. Not to mention, if they're familiar spirits, it means they have a right to be operating in your family, because everything comes down to law and agreement. So there was an agreement that was made at some point. Somebody did something they shouldn't have done. Somebody agreed with something they shouldn't have agreed with. And poof, there's this familiar spirit operating down your lineage. So you'll be like, oh, well, let me go to this psychic, and oh, the psychic, they told me, about, my cousin Vinny. And Vinny thinks that I'm doing great in life. And then, Vinny was telling the psychic all this stuff that the psychic would not have known. The psychic would not have known about any of this stuff. This was only between me and Vinny. No, it was never only between you and cousin Vinny. Okay? Because there was always a monitoring spirit, and there's always a familiar spirit there taking notes. Not to mention, these things can masquerade. Guys, there's a reason they're called masquerading spirits. Even the devil, he ain't going to be showing up every time in the same outfit. No. They can appear however they want. They know exactly how Cousin Vinny looked because they were taking notes on Cousin Vinny his whole life. If Vinny had this crazy accent and walked with a limp leg, oh, they know. They know more about Cousin Vinny than Cousin Vinny knows about Cousin Vinny. So you got these psychics and mediums and tarot card readers are like, now I see, Wendy, she's playing in the fields, and it was in that special place. She's telling me, to get that job. And she's telling me that she's really proud of you. No, it is a familiar spirit tricking you, because divination, talking to unclean and familiar spirits and talking to spirits, these demons, devils, spirits, which you ain't supposed to be talking to them. First of all, it's a sin. So you start participating. You go to the psychics, you go to these palm readers and tarot card readers. By going and agreeing to that, not only are you not breaking a sin, okay, but because you broke the sin, or you broke the rule, now a consequence has been activated. Now, these psychics, these mediums, they got to tie to you, and be careful. A lot of them are stealing from you, okay? And I'm not talking about the money out your pocketbook. I'm talking about your stars, your destiny, your fortunes. You'll be like, oh, here's my palm reader. Tell me what is to come. All of a sudden, they'll be doing some stuff like that, and they just stole a bunch of your stars. Yeah, they just took some of your fortune, girl. That one just took your marriage ring. Yeah, so be careful. You don't need to talk to dead people, because dead people ain't hanging around on the earth, okay? It's not, here's a demon, here's an angel, here's Cousin Vinny. No, Cousin Vinny is in heaven or Cousin Vinny is in hell. There's only two places to go, okay? So all of this, oh, well, it's a ghost. Look, I've seen ghosts a lot when I was a kid, okay? And then once I got into this, then I had them on top of me, and I was seeing them then too. But let me just tell you something. They ain't ghosts. They are not ghosts. They are masquerading, okay? It's like even with a possessed house, and that has an infestation, that's what we'll call it. It's infested by, more than likely, a territorial spirit. Something happened in that house that allowed that thing to come through, right? And you'll get this psychic that's coming through, and they're like, I am connecting with the past person who lived here, and he is telling me he wants you guys to leave the house. No, brah. What you're connecting with is a familiar spirit working with a territorial spirit claiming to be whoever. And again, they can masquerade. So they could take the appearance too. You don't be fooled by them. That's why God says don't talk to them. It's a sin. You don't need to hear a bunch of lies. That's all they got for you. That's all they got for you. Even if any of them gave you any truth, it's still wrapped in a lie. It's still wrapped in a lie. Or if they're telling you something, it's because you're agreeing with them, and you don't even know that you've agreed to something just by taking the knowledge that they're telling you. Oh, thank you, psychic. That changed my life. Well, now you've just agreed to all those little spirits that are now opened up through the door of just by breaking the sin of divination. And you're coming into agreement with whatever spirits are operating on these psychics. And I'm telling you, the only thing psychic about them are the familiar spirits pumping them with information. They could tell you about 6 generations back, because they're familiar with you. They're familiar with your families. Okay, there ain't no ghost of anybody walking around in every single psychic, medium, tarot card. They are working with familiar spirits. Half of them are so far gone, they don't even know, oh, it's my spirit guide. I am just so blessed to have a spirit guide tell me about dead people and be able to help all these people by telling them about their dead people. No. Okay, again, ignorance is not a get out of jail for free card. So just by participating with these things, you are attaching all these demons, not only to yourself, but all these people that you're helping with your psychic powers. Get a grip. Get a grip, and then get a Bible. Okay, and then get some information about what you're doing. You ain't psychic, you ain't a medium, you ain't no tarot card reader. You're a blind witch at best. You are a blind witch being led. Here's the puppet strings. Here's you. Ooh, my spirit guide. No, familiar spirits. Familiar spirits. Okay, familiar spirits. So you got the monitoring spirits, monitoring serpents of the devil. You got the recording angel of God. Now you got these familiar spirits that are, sliding on down the family tree, And now you want to hear the next thing you got there? Every single one of us? Oh, yeah. Okay. Right when you pop into this world, just like how God has guardian angels on us, the devil has assigned people, not people, but demons to us to not only try to stop us from getting back to heaven and by taking our soul, but by also stopping the mission that God put us here to do. Okay, so you got guardian angels that God's like, okay, these angels are going to be with you the whole time you're in this world. The whole time you're in this world, these angels are going to be with you. For our Father gave his angels charge over us, that if we so much as dash our foot against a stone, they shall be there to collect us. And on a side tip, your angels, you got, guardian angels. And once you start doing warfare prayers, you'll get a lot more angels. But they're also activated by the sword. Or by the word of God, the sword of the spirit. That we'll get into that in a different video. So you got guardian angels who are covering your butt, right? You're being silly in your car or whatever, and the angel's like, oh. I mean, they're saving our butts more times than we know, right? Or the devil's got some little trap over here that they're like, oh, well, if I can get this person to meet this person, then yay. The angels are like, look, bro, we got a different plan. Okay, so the angels are there always working in tandem together to try to protect your butt. And then you got these demons sent from hell, agents and assassins of the devil, right? Who their only mission, 24 hours, 7 days a week, is to take you to hell and to make sure that you don't do the mission from God. Oh, yeah. So if you end up going to hell, right? Let's say that they brought your soul to hell and that you never got your mission pulled off. Those demons who were sent on you, given that mission, they get celebrated. They're celebrated in hell. The devil's, yay, good job, whatever. But if those demons that were assigned to you, if they don't pull off the mission by stopping you, they get shredded. They get shredded by the devil. So they ain't trying to mess up the mission. Okay. So 24 hours, 7 days a week, you got everybody, not just, the people who participate in warfare have a demon assigned to them to stop them. No, everybody. Okay. These spirits that we're talking about in this video, this is everybody, no matter what you believe. Whatever you believe has no relevance of the game you're in, the little game called life. Okay. So these, demons and agents of the devil, 2 missions they got. 2 missions, right? To bring you to hell and make sure you don't pull off the mission of God. Now, if you make it to heaven and you pull off the mission from God, they get shredded. They get tortured and shredded. So they're not trying to get shredded. So they work very hard to try to stop you. And they'll all be working together. You got the familiar spirit working with the strong arm and, working with the agent and assassin from the devil. You got them all working together. It's like you got gangs of them all around you all the time. And demons and unclean and foul spirits, they look like us. They got hairdos, outfits from all different times. But I'm telling you, they look like people, and then you got monsters. Okay. Then you got the bigger ones. Then you got ones with spikes. You got ones with 6 packs that are like, you got monsters, right? That's when you start moving up on the chain of like power as far as their level of power, right? You got the little pipsqueaks at the bottom, and then once you start growing up to the top, then you're dealing with like much scarier ones, monsters. But the ones that are around you 24 hours, 7 days a week, they are assigned to you. Okay, so that agent, that assassin, that demon that's been assigned you from the devil, he's like the leader of the pact, right? He's like the one who's like in charge of bringing you to hell. So he's like, he'll show up and he's like, okay, I've been assigned to little Cindy, so I'm going to come up with a strategy. Familiar spirits, tell me about the lineage. Tell me about what curses are operating through there. What doors, what trauma, trauma is one of their favorite ways to try to enter in people, but what can we do to set this up beautifully to get little Cindy right to hell with us and to make sure she never gets to do what God put her here to do? That's what they do. That's what they do. So 24 hours, 7 days a week, these things are looking at you. They are looking at you. You got eyes on you right now. I got eyes on me. Oh yeah, they're recording. They're like, oh yeah, Mr. Devil just did another video and told people this. That little monitoring spirit is gonna run back to little, Pipsqueak Master, aka the devil, and be like, oh, I just want to share this with you. And the devil's be like, oh, well, that's not good. What do we do to form a counterattack? I mean, we're in a game. God says, run your race. We're on the side that's already won. So that's where you can take a deep breath, okay? Because Jesus, he already, popped the devil. He's going to come and pop him again. But you still want to know what's going on. You don't be ignorant to this stuff, right? Ignorance is what got us into this problem to begin with. So, I mean, I'm not even touching on the unclean spirits, the stuff, oh, well, I sinned here and now the spirit, an open door for this spirit. I'm talking about just the basics that are, no matter what, assigned to every human being, no matter what you believe, okay? No matter what you believe. You got guardian angels, you got demons assigned to drag you to hell, okay? You got monitoring spirits, monitoring serpents, recording what you say, what you do. They are putting that in satanic databases. It's going in Satan's little book. All that information is being recorded and stored. You got recording angels who are over here writing everything you say, everything you do, everything you think. You ain't getting away with nothing, okay? God's got it there, right? And then you got familiar spirits of the devil who have been just coming on through, all your family for all these years because nobody's challenged it. Nobody's, broken those covenants yet. So this thing's been around, generations. I mean, the familiar spirit's part of your family at this point. You know what I mean? This is happening to every single person. So if we get the information, now we can know what to do with it. Now we start to learn, okay, how does the devil operate? What are the tactics? What does he do to gather up information? That's what he does. That's how he's gathering it up. That's how he knows so much about you. That's how these psychics they know anything because they're talking to familiar spirits. No spirit guides. Sorry, bras. No spirit guides, okay? Demons. They tell you they're your spirit guide. They're a demon and you're just, oh, I am so spiritually connected to have a spirit guide. No, you're so spiritually ignorant to believe that demon is a spirit guide. Sorry. It's the truth. I'm not going to put little pink ribbons around reality and be like, oh, well, would this all be softer and easier for you guys to hear if I was braiding your hair while I was telling you? No, we ain't got time for that. What is happening? What are they doing? Okay, so keep in mind. Keep in mind. Okay, they're taking notes on you. And make sure to take notes on them too. Every time they attack you, every time the demon or the devil's got some little strategy, be like, oh, what is he trying to do to me today? Take notes. Take notes. Just like they're taking notes on you, take notes on them too. Oh, thank you, Mr. Devil, for that little attack, because now you just showed me another one of your strategies. Because the thing with the devil, it's like he's got the same, like, 3 moves over and over again. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not brilliant, okay? He's not, ooh, no. He's good at lying. He's great at it. Great at lying. Great at pretending. Okay, that's about it. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe he could make music because God gave him gifts to make music. And he ain't even doing that well anymore. Okay, so just keep in mind what's always around you. All right, so I hope that, kind of explained some of the basics on demons and spirits and, angels that are around you, around all of us, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what you believe. These spirits that I've just listed off for you, these spirits, these angels, they're all there by all of us, all the time. Yes, 24 hours, 7 days a week. I know I've said that like 30 times by now, but I just want you to understand. Even if you bust a couple of those ones up and you shut the familiar spirits out, they're coming back. They're going to try to find a way back in, especially, the monitoring spirits. One will just be sent in right after the next. You can shut all the familiar spirits down, yeah, but they're going to try to find a strategy to let another one back in. It's like how they gather their information. You know what I mean? It's their little monitoring system. I mean, they have a separate monitoring system, but this is their tactics. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And I hope you have a great day, and we will talk very soon. All right, bye.